Hey y'all, I'm about to give you the top 5 Maryland parks, my favorites. Make sure you follow us on Spotify, YouTube. Make sure you follow us on Facebook. Join our group. And we are also on Apple Podcasts for your listening pleasure. Now let's get to it. Let's talk about the top 5, my favorite parks in the state of Maryland.
When he speaks from the heart and tells it like it is, we call that unscripted. Welcome to Unscripted from Hanging with the Hazes.
Hey y'all, what's going on? So really quick, I just want to take a minute and give you my top 5 parks for camping in the state of Maryland. Now, they are going to be spread apart in the state of Maryland. So you're going to hear something about one on the west, central, eastern shore, northern, and southern. And I'm going to kind of, give you a synopsis. All of these are going to be motorhome friendly. I will tell you that. Most of them do have places to tent camp, but the ones that did not make the list are the ones that cannot accommodate motorhome facilities. With that being said, we're going to start out to the west or southwest and we're going to talk about Little Bennett Park. Now, Little Bennett Park is a really nice place down in Montgomery County, Maryland. It is relatively reasonable. I do believe you can get in there for about $70 or less per night. Now, that $70 is usually during peak season. It does cover a quite large area, plenty of trails to do. They can handle pretty much anything that you can bring in there. And the entrance of it is well maintained. You can get in. Now, I will tell you this. The one thing about that neck of the woods is that you are a little bit off the beaten path at 23701 Frederick Road down in Clarksburg. So you're going to have to travel a little bit to get to D.C., maybe 30 minutes or so out, and you're about 45 minutes to an hour out of Baltimore if you want to do that. However, you're about maybe 25 minutes down from Frederick, Maryland. So all of the recreation and activities that you want to get into, you can get into them there. Moving farther east, I want to talk a little bit about a little park called Ramblin' Pines. Now, this one I happen to know about personally. Ramblin' Pines is a really cool campground. It is located at 801 Hoods Mill Road up in a little town called Woodbine. It's about 3 miles off of the exit if you come down Route 97 off of Route 70. And it does have anything that you could want. Swimming, all kinds of recreation as far as volleyball, basketball, pickleball, all that good stuff. You can get that right here. You can do a little bit of fishing. The kids got a playground to play on, and they can take pretty much anything that you can tow, drive, or move. Really nice place. Now, for this 2025 year, you're probably going to be closer to $95 a night with a discount if you got Good Sam. However, it technically is a resort-style park, and unfortunately, you pay for resort-style parks. Moving a little bit farther south, closer to D.C., you have Cherry Hill Campground. Now, Cherry Hill Campground is nice. It is north of $120 during peak season. Let me just be straight. Again, can't take anything that you can push, pull, or tow. The beautiful thing about this one is that it is centrally located right north of D.C. So you can drop down into D.C. relatively quick, maybe 10 or 15 minutes. I know they do run a shuttle. However, you're going to pay a little bit of money for this particular campground. That's the only issue with that. Really nice. Is it a Disney experience? No. Is it close? Well, close enough. Moving a little bit farther east, if you don't want to pay the premium to stay at Cherry Hill Park, you have the wonderful KOA Millersville that is right there off of Route 97, I should say Interstate 97 and Route 32, right at that junction. Really nice place, about $110 a night during peak season for one of the bigger sites. And again, they can take anything that you can bring in as well. This particular park is about 40 minutes outside of DC. They do run a shuttle sometimes, but you need to call ahead to make sure that that is available and running. The other thing with this particular park is they have real-time availability online in the app. Really, really, really wonderful KOA to stay at, and their inventory is kept up relatively well. Going to the eastern shore of Maryland. Now, there are several places over here that you can go that I would recommend, and I'm going to lump all of them in one description. You got Sun Outdoors Ocean City Getaway, or Gateway, I should say they call it, Sun Outdoors Frontier Town, and I do believe you have Sun Outdoors Ocean City. The three of those are within minutes of Ocean City, Maryland. You can get to the ocean, have some fun on the boardwalk, have some fun doing some eating and some other things, plenty of seafood, anything that would fit your fancy you can get into. Those parks, well, it says Sun Outdoors. Expect in peak season to pay north of $200 a night. It's just what it is. If you want to go to the beach and you want to take your unit and you want to stay in a Sun Outdoors park in Ocean City, come off the wallet. It's just what it is. Again, in excess of $250+ a night, and there's really nothing that you can do about that other than pay the premium or take the hour drive in from one of the state parks in the state of Maryland. And if you choose to do that, Jane Island State Park over in Crisfield, Maryland is where I recommend you stay. You're about an hour or so away from the beach, if that. But again, it is a quarter of the price. Going north, if you happen to be up in the Hershey area and want to go to the show, instead of paying the premium price at Hershey, come on down to Mary Meadows Recreational Farm that is right north of Parkton in a little town called Freeland, Maryland. It is just south of the Maryland-Pennsylvania line. They are located, if I remember correctly, at 1523 Freeland Road up in Freeland, Maryland. Wonderful place, less than $80 a night during peak season. They have pull-throughs, beautiful views. You can put your satellite TV up and have no issue. The only issue with them is if you bring your own internet. I can't promise that it's going to work wonderfully. However, you will be able to stream at least in standard definition because you are a bit off the beaten path. But again, at less than $80 a night, ridiculously long pull-throughs, great site for setting up with family. Some of them even have decks where you can throw the grill up, put the chairs up, keep the awning in and use an umbrella. You cannot beat it for the price. To give you an idea, from Mary Meadows up to Hershey Park, about 45 minutes or so, and it's not a bad drive back from the show in September, provided you can't get anything a little bit closer. So those are my top parks in the state of Maryland. I know you all have your favorites. Feel free to leave it in the comments. I will definitely talk about them if I've been there. And, maybe you want to get on the show. I am open to having anybody talk about their favorite parks. Let me know. I'll set up an appointment with you and we'll get you on the air. Again, this is Camping Krazy Keon. Thank you so much for checking out this episode, this podcast of Unscripted, and we'll be back to you with another bonus podcast. I'm out of here.
Be sure to join us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and you can always catch us on Facebook and YouTube. Hanging with the Hazes.
For more content and good stuff, make sure you hit us up on Facebook, YouTube. We are also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You don't want to miss it.